South Carolina double killer to die by firing squad in first execution of its kind in 15 years. A convicted double murderer is set to die by firing squad in South Carolina on Friday, the first execution of its kind in the U.S. in 15 years. Brad Sigmon, 67, personally requested the unusual punishment after fearing the electric chair would burn and cook him alive, his attorney Gerald King wrote in a statement. He also rejected a lethal injection after 3 previous inmates took more than 20 minutes to die after receiving the fatal dose of pentobarbital, his lawyers said. Sigmon became the first South Carolina inmate to choose the state's new firing squad method of killing, and he'll become the first inmate to be executed by shooting since 2010. The killer will be strapped to a chair and have a hood placed over his head and a target placed over his heart in the death chamber. 3 volunteers will fire at him through a small opening about 15 feet away. Sigmon was convicted in the 2001 baseball bat killings of his ex-girlfriend Rebecca Barber's parents at their home in Greenville County. Sigmon had been smoking crack cocaine and drinking on the night of the killing, when he told a friend he would get Becky for leaving him the way she did and tie her parents up. According to court documents, they were in separate rooms, and Sigmon went back and forth as he beat them to death, investigators said. The husband's skull was basically broken in 2, the court heard during his trial. He then kidnapped his ex-girlfriend at gunpoint, but she escaped from his car. He shot at her as she ran, but missed, according to prosecutors. In a confession, Sigmon said, "I couldn't have her. I wasn't going to let anybody else have her." He planned to kill both Barber and himself, he later testified to officers. Sigmon claimed he was forced to choose a violent death by firing squad because, without more information, he thought his alternatives would be more tortuous. According to a stay of execution motion filed by his attorneys with South Carolina's Supreme Court, only 3 inmates in the U.S. have been executed by firing squad since 1976. With all of them taking place in Utah. Lawyers for Sigmon asked to delay his execution date in February because they wanted to learn if the prisoner in South Carolina's previous execution, Marion Bowman, was Gavetwo Dosisov pentobarbital at his execution on January 31st, and look over his autopsy report. Sigmon knows it will be a violent death, his lawyer said. He does not wish to inflict that pain on his family, the witnesses, or the execution team. But given South Carolina's unnecessary and unconscionable secrecy, Brad is choosing as best he can, King said.